What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more hardcore, and we're back with a tune which is technically another modern hardcore track, but as you'll see, this is actually a remix of a very classic hardcore tune by one of the sort of old school players from the 90s. We're talking Lenny Dee in his Industrial Strength Records. The tune is Forgotten Moments. Now, this tune has a very special place for me. As you'll see, this is the remix vinyl on Industrial Strength Limited 2009. This is actually a white label. But the first version of Lenny Dee, Forgotten Moments, was the first hardcore record I ever bought. I've since lost it. It's one of those records that over the years, it just disappeared. When you have a lot of records, like sometimes you go looking for one and it's like, what the heck? Like, it's just, you go through all your stacks and it's just not there. So I'm not sure how that happened, but again, I was given an opportunity to get a copy of the original again when this remix vinyl came out. And here's the thing, not only do I think the original is a fantastic hardcore tune that has a unique legacy. Again, at the time, in the 90s, a lot of hardcore was, you know, either sampling reggae with like the hardcore, like the roughneck sound, or it was sampling like hip-hop, not only with, you know, a lot of tracks on Industrial Strength that sampled hip-hop, or like, you know, action movies, and then like, you know, really distorted sounds and so on, or you had like Hellfish doing stuff on Death Chant, a lot of hip-hop samples there. So, you know, the world of hardcore, it had this like tough, like wicked sort of sound, a lot of the tunes that were coming out. And then here comes this tune on Industrial Strength by one of the sort of, you know, foremost champions of that sort of craziness. And he makes a tune with Steve Gibbs, who I have to point out has an excellent record on Eve Records during the latter stages of its classic run. I think it's Eve 28. It's called Arabian Dreams. Wicked tune. It mixes like hard trance, psychedelic trance, acid trance. So yeah, I suspect that Steve Gibbs may have had a hand in the melody, because this hardcore tune, the original, Forgotten Moments, it's atmospheric, it's trance-like, it's sort of techno-like. I mean, it has a kick and a bass line and a sort of a tempo that makes it hardcore, but it also, again, it's got a lot of atmosphere. It's very trancey. It's like trancecore on Industrial Strength. So it has this really interesting sort of legacy, and it was different from a lot of what else was coming out at the time. So I love the tune, you know, just in terms of the sonics, from back then all the way up into the present. And it has a very special place for me nostalgically, because it was the first hardcore record I bought. But along comes Ophidian, a producer of, you know, more modern hardcore. I'm forgetting his first name. It's C. Hoyer. I forget the given name, what the C stands for. I do apologize. But along he comes in 2009, and he makes a remix that, despite how much I love the original, elevates it, takes it to a new level, just puts it in a new dimension. And the reason it does that, there's two mixes. There's a DJ cut, which is, you know, pretty straightforward. There's a full version, which is what we're going to listen to, of this remix, where it starts with this, it starts in a storm. It's like the atmospheric sounds of a storm, and then it takes the sort of main melodic riff of the original and puts it into a symphonic setting. We get an orchestral articulation of the melodic riff, and then it begins and it progresses, and it takes the tune and its classic sound, sort of old school hardcore sound, and it modernizes it. It makes it, you know, again, more in a sort of modern mainstream hardcore sound, but a very, very good tune in that regard. And then when it gets to the breakdown, it gets at least as epic as the breakdown as the original, and that's saying a lot. And then it actually gets more epic, because the original, it's called Forgotten Moments, and it is atmospheric in a sort of melancholic, reflective way, but the remix by Ophidian lends verbal substance to that, which is to say, he adds some vocals, and they're given by this, a female voice. It's sort of spoken more than sung. But she talks about, you know, the moments you regret and moments you forget, and what it is to be a sort of, you know, subjective emotional being in time, which again, it lends a sort of conceptual substance to the phrase of the original track name. So bottom line, it's a genius remix. It is a bit longer, so let's get to it. And also, you know, the train's getting impatient outside too, so everyone wants to hear it. But let's get it. This is Lenny Dee featuring Steve Gibbs. Forgotten Moments, and this is the Ophidian remix from 2009 on Industrial Strength Limited. As I mentioned, there is like a regular version, but I have the white label. It starts soft, so I'm gonna be on the volume modulation here. The gain, technically. strict kick rules and alterations, but still within the bar structure. After time goes by, all that you have are moments you regret, things you do remember and make you feel sad, or moments you've forgotten, moments that, like, you know, they didn't stick. So whatever happy moments you might have had, those are the ones that stay with you. So it's moments you regret and moments you forget. Listen to, like, the tone of the tune. Your brain. Original is there. It's just updated, expanded. The kick and the bass line are like tripping over each other, but they recover in time to like get across the measure. But just wait, it's winding down, but the ending of this tune is actually the most amazing part. there's just no other way to put it. Again, the original has a very special place in my heart and my mind, both in terms of what it sounds like and what it meant to me, you know, in my early raving days. But that one exceeds it. You know, it's a rare case where you can say, you know, the remix goes to a level that the original didn't do, which again, I imagine both Ophidian would be very pleased with that once he completed the tune, but I imagine also Lenny Dee upon hearing that be like, hell yeah, you know, that's a cool take on it. So yeah, you know, I don't know if that's the case, but that would be my thought. And again, I suspect by the nature of the high prices that this record commands on Discogs, that it is, you know, rightly regarded as a masterpiece. So big ups to Ophidian. Again, it's just an amazing tune that actually outdoes the original, which has, you know, been one of my favorites for a very long time. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of the ending. I love the, you know, I love the book ending, the sort of storm and the symphonic, you know, sort of orchestral sound on both ends of the tune. But the sort of emotion of the ending is just crazy. So yeah, big ups to Ophidian. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.